Hello everyone, today I'll show you how to change the fuel filter on a Peugeot 308 with a 1.6 HDI engine. It's a Peugeot 308 with a 1.6 HDI engine, 120 horsepower, powered by a DV6 FC engine. The first thing we do is take off the protective shroud. We're interested in this part of the engine. As you can see, there are two hoses connected to the fuel filter and one chip. Let's disconnect the chip. You'll need to move the protective orange latch to the left, then raise the tab upwards and pull the chip. You won't have any problems with this, no force is needed, everything comes off very easily. Let's start with the fuel supply pipe. The first thing I want to tell you is that the fuel return pipe is made of rather delicate plastic and it's at a positive pressure. The temperature is pretty tough and brittle, and it's even harsher in below zero temperatures, so if you have the opportunity to undergo this process in a heated garage, I would strongly advocate for it. If not, then be extra cautious and don't rush. The next step, probably the toughest, is the supply hose. Its challenge lies in the fact that at first glance it's not clear where to pull not to break anything, of course. I slightly broke it to avoid doing that. I'll demonstrate how it operates. To open this plug, you need this central one. Let's dub it a petal. Pull it upward, press on the right and left parts. That's pretty much all there is to it. Nothing complex once you comprehend precisely how it works and you don't attempt to apply force. Yet again, gently pull the middle part upward, press the right and left parts, extract the supply hose. Once we do all correctly, it will come out effortlessly. The subsequent hose. Here everything is considerably simpler. There are two white buttons on the clip. They should be pressed simultaneously and then pulled down. They push to pull yourself. Again, when you do it right, everything comes out very easily. The strength, you don't need to use it. Point number 2. Unscrew this bracket. It is fastened with 2 bolts. Immediately I will say that I did not unscrew it because the previous owner had already broken the connector in the filter cover, and the bracket does not bother me now. The breakdown is not critical. Everything works, but not a fact that you will also end up so rosy. So unscrew the bracket. Then take the head on 24, extension cord and ratchet. Unscrew the filter counterclockwise. At first it goes tight. That's fine. Pay special attention not to damage the return connector. As I said before, the tubes are quite fragile. The jabot is a little in our way, but if you do it carefully, you don't need to take anything off. It's a bit of a stick, but there's plenty of space. The next point, unscrew the filter housing itself. It is attached to 3 bolts. This is optional, and you can simply remove the fuel filter and insert a new one. But since this is my first time changing the filter and the mileage on the car is not small, I decided. Of course, there is a drain hole for this. To open it, we need a T27 sprocket. That's how the drain hole works, but for me it's better to take out clean and wipe everything by hand. The choice is yours. In order to remove the filter element, you need to press lightly on the side and it is easy to remove. Insert a new filter into the housing. Do not forget to replace the elastic band from the kit. Before replacing everything, be sure to wipe the filter housing seat, of course. You could leave it as is, but dust will quickly dirty everything. Put the housing back in the car and screw it back on with 3 bolts. We tighten the bolts gently by hand as all the parts are plastic. Take some pure diesel fuel and pour it into the filter housing, trying to pour along the outer edge. This way, Even if some dirt got into the filter during the work, it will still be filtered by the filter itself. Pour diesel fuel into the filter housing until it's almost level with the cover of the filter element, slightly less. To prevent overflowing everything with fuel, you can put a couple of rags at the side. If the fuel spills, it'll be absorbed by the rag. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. We start to screw the filter on, first by hand, making sure we've definitely hit the thread, and then with the head and ratchet. We won't be able to over-tighten the cover because there's a plastic stopper on it. We twist it until we can't go any further. And after that, we plug all the connectors into their places. Well done, you've succeeded. Another thing I wanted to mention, I'm not going to recommend which brand to choose because there are a lot of counterfeits. There are many to choose from, so choose a supplier you trust the most. That's probably the only advice I can give. As for the replacement frequency of the fuel filter, as the manufacturer suggests, under normal conditions, it's once every 50,000 kilometers. And for tough conditions, like in CIS countries, it's once every 30,000 kilometers. I personally have gotten into the habit of changing the fuel filter once a year before winter. Yes, even if the mileage isn't 30,000, say it's 20,000 or sometimes even 15,000, at least I'm confident that my fuel system will be fine. Plus, keep in mind anyone can get a counterfeit, no one is immune to that. Well, that's about it. Thank you for watching. I hope it wasn't too boring. Thanks to everyone for watching, and see you next time.